Hi guys, I hope that you're all doing really well. So today I'm going to be making a video on the fragrances that people actually wear in Dubai. Now, I feel like there's maybe like a little bit of curiosity, a little bit of misconception about what people wear in Dubai in terms of fragrance. Now, of course, this video is just from my experience. If you guys don't know, on Sniff, on our social media page, I interview people at Dubai Mall, I interview people at Mall of the Emirates, I interview people all around Dubai. I spend quite a bit of time trying to understand what locals are actually wearing in terms of their scent. So I often ask them, we have a conversation, and I get to know a little bit about their scent preferences. So I wanted to share with you guys today the fragrances that I know a lot of locals really enjoy wearing. I also messaged a few locals that follow me and follow my videos, and I also asked them if they could give me some recommendations for this video as well, just so that I can give you guys kind of an idea of what the locals are wearing in Dubai. Now, the reason that I say there's a bit of a misconception is because a lot of locals tend to prefer French, Italian, Spanish, European fragrance brands. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't wear things from the region. Of course that they do, but it's more so the oils, the bahor. These are the things that they buy from the region. But in terms of their perfume, their scent, a lot of them are wearing the classics: Dior, Chanel, Caron, Guerlain, all of those brands. So I'm going to share with you guys today, from my experience, I need to say that again, what I know people are wearing in Dubai. So let's start out with a fragrance that I hear all the time. Whenever I go to make the Sniff interviews, at least one time, a local is telling me they're wearing Gris Dior, which is one of my favorite fragrances ever. Now, this fragrance is so beautiful, so classy, so elegant. If you guys have never smelled it, it's a stunning, fresh chypre fragrance. You have rose, patchouli, oak moss, some citrus. It's vibrant, it's juicy, it's just incredible. And a lot of local men and women, actually, no, it's equal. Whenever I interview people and they say Gris Dior, it's equally as many women and men that say that they wear Gris Dior. So this fragrance is really loved in this region of the world. It's classy, it's fresh, it's just an incredible fragrance. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you know my love for this scent. I've been speaking about it for so many years, and it is a gorgeous fragrance. And here in the region, they really love Gris Dior. So yeah, this one is going to be specifically for men. Whenever I've spoken to local men, a lot of them say one of their favorite fragrances is Parfums de Marly's Layton. Now, it's interesting because whenever they say Parfums de Marly, I never hear them say Herod, Pegasus, Carlisle. It's always Layton. This is the fragrance that they say that they wear. So this, as you guys know, is a beautiful, captivating, fresh, aromatic, sweet, woody fragrance from Parfums de Marly. I have again been speaking about this one for many years, and still to this day, it is really one of my favorite fragrances to smell on a guy. I love this scent. I always have and I always will. And a lot of local guys really love Parfums de Marly Layton. Like I said, I never hear them say other fragrances from Parfums de Marly like Carlisle or Herod. It's always Layton. Of course, one of the most loved brands here is definitely Amouage. Now, a fragrance that a lot of locals say that they love, men and women, is of course Guidance. Now, this is just the original from what I understood having some conversations with locals. So after speaking with a lot of locals, I do feel like I hear more about the original Guidance rather than the 46. I could be wrong, but I do feel like I hear a lot about the original. And there was a point in Dubai, it was probably about a year ago, where I would smell this fragrance everywhere. At every single cafe, at the mall, absolutely everywhere I would smell Guidance. And as you guys know, this is just such an interesting, beautiful fragrance. It's not my personal favorite, I cannot lie to you guys, but it is a really captivating scent. You have pear, hazelnut, sandalwood, akigala wood, It's very like airy, sweet, nutty. It's super interesting, this fragrance, very like peculiar, but in a really addictive way. You want to know what you're smelling, you want to smell it more. It is a really incredible, unique fragrance that kind of like took the perfume industry by storm when it was released. So Guidance, the original from Amouage, I smell this a lot. Not as much anymore, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't really smell Guidex so much now. It was more about a year ago. I was smelling it everywhere. But locals, they absolutely love Guidance. And going hand in hand with Guidance, I have to say Purpose from Amouage. Now this is Purpose 50. I do feel like when I've spoken with people, they do prefer the 50 of Purpose. Now, I am smelling this everywhere these days, you guys, everywhere. This is the new Guidance in Dubai. Purpose 50, it actually has this very subtle similarity to Guidance. Like there is something in there, whether it's the Akigala wood, whether there's some sort of sweetness, a muskiness or something, there is like a subtle similarity to Guidance. Amouage knew what they were doing when they launched Purpose 50. They knew that people would get addicted to it. Now, this is, again, a very complex DNA. It is not a scent that I find myself wanting to wear personally, but in Dubai, this is so popular. I smell this all the time, you guys. Like, I smell this whenever I get into the elevator in my building. I smell it at the mall all the time. People love Purpose, the Purpose DNA in Dubai right now. It's nutty, it's vetiver, it's a little bit sweet, it's woody, it's creamy. It is such an interesting and captivating fragrance, just beautifully created. Like I said, it's not my cup of tea for me personally, although I have to say I am slowly like getting used to this DNA and I'm starting to like it a little bit more. I'm not sure if I would wear it yet, but I am starting to like it a little bit more. But Purpose 50, really, really popular here in Dubai, just so you guys know. So after speaking as well with some of my followers from the region, a lot of them told me the most popular like local brand is Emirates Pride. Or I should say like one of the more popular local brands is Emirates Pride. Now, I have tried a couple of fragrances from Emirates Pride and I do think that they offer some really nice fragrances. They are not all like my taste personally because they're so strong. They're very strong, very Middle Eastern, very beautiful fragrances. But I don't find myself like reaching for the Emirates Pride fragrances that I personally own. But the brand is really well loved with locals. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. The one that I have here is Master's Signature. Now this is not specifically the one that's popular here. I'm just showing you guys like the brand so you can see it. But yeah, Emirates Pride is really a popular brand here. A lot of locals love it. A lot of locals are wearing the brand. So yeah, the brand is very beautiful and very well loved here in Dubai. The next fragrance, talking about something a little bit more classic, Chanel No. 5. I know a lot of local women that are wearing Chanel No. 5. This is their signature scent. And something that I've noticed is that local women have such classic taste in perfume. You guys will see from like 3 other of my recommendations that the fragrances are very classic. The local women that I've spoken to, even I follow a couple of local women on social media, their taste in perfume is very classic. And I think that that is so beautiful. Chanel No. 5 is really well loved here amongst the locals. As you guys know, it is an iconic fragrance. It's powdery, it's aldehydic, it's very clean, it's just amazing. If you don't like Chanel No. 5, I actually have some advice because I used to not like it as well, but I revisit fragrances that I don't like every single year to see if maybe my nose has changed, maybe my taste has changed, maybe I'm like evolving, and I always re-smell fragrances that maybe I didn't like in the past. And that's what happened with Chanel No. 5. I kept on re-smelling it and eventually something just clicked and I really started to love the DNA. I will say I wear more the Eau Premier version and the L'Eau version, but I do think the original Chanel No. 5 is incredible too. So this is really well loved here, a classic fragrance that is a kind of, I guess like a necessity in a lot of local women's wardrobes. Okay, I have spoken about this fragrance before. A lot of you guys have purchased it because of me. This is Teint de Neige by Lorenzo Villoresi. So this fragrance became really popular many years ago because there was somebody, a part of the royal family. I think it was in Qatar. It was somebody part of the royal family that was wearing this fragrance and they posted about it. And then it became huge in the Middle East. So Teint de Neige has a cult following here and it is so beautiful, you guys. I do recommend the Eau de Toilette version over the Eau de Parfum, but this is such a gorgeous, clean, powdery, musky fragrance with a little bit of a sweetness. It's incredible. I know so many people that wear this fragrance. It's their signature. They love it so much. I know a lot of people that wear Teint de Neige, but like I said, this was like really, really famous many years ago, but it's still a fragrance today that a lot of people wear, a lot of people love. I have friends of mine that also wear this fragrance in Dubai. Like, it's their signature scent. They love it so much. It's beautiful. If you guys don't know Lorenzo Villoresi, it's an Italian niche brand, and they're known for having a slightly more like vintage profile amongst the brand. And personally, I really love the fragrances. I think they're absolutely stunning. So Teint de Neige by Lorenzo Villoresi, gorgeous fragrance, very popular here. You guys know I love this one a lot. A fragrance for the men that is super popular here is Tuxedo. I interview a lot of local guys and they tell me that Tuxedo is their favorite fragrance ever. It's one of the best fragrances, and I couldn't agree more. This is one of my personal favorite fragrances for men of all time. It's so sexy. It's so sexy. I don't even know what to say. You have some spice, you have patchouli, vanilla, amber. It's absolutely incredible on a man's skin. Like, it's in my top 5 men's fragrances for life, Tuxedo. It's really special. It's very attractive. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. And a lot of local guys say that this is their favorite fragrance. So Tuxedo from Yves Saint Laurent, not with the women, but with the men, it's definitely very well loved here. Okay, so another, I don't have the fragrance actually, I just have the brand. So Essential Parfum Bois Imperial. So popular, you guys, not only with locals, but also a lot with Russians. The Russians that live here in Dubai, I've interviewed a couple of them. A lot of them say their favorite is Bois Imperial. I've interviewed a lot of people in Dubai and they've told me that their favorite fragrance is Bois Imperial, which, if you guys don't know, kind of smells like Ganymede, maybe a little bit more fresh, a little bit more wearable than something like Ganymede. Same perfumer though, and yeah, so it's a very, very popular fragrance amongst locals, amongst Russians. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a lot of Russians that live in Dubai now. And I also interview them here. And a lot of them, I've noticed, Russians, they love Kilian, the brand Kilian. Like, I have never met a Russian that doesn't love Kilian. Also Initio, they love Initio, Kilian, and Bois Imperial. Like, those are the brands and the fragrances that they like. Okay, so another brand that the locals are crazy for is obviously Guerlain. Now, Guerlain all over the world is loved and appreciated by especially us fragrance lovers, but everyone. Like, I feel like Guerlain is one of the most iconic brands. And here in the region, like, the locals, they go crazy for Guerlain, especially at the moment, Patchouli Paris. I have here Oud Nude, which I have heard a lot of locals love. I've interviewed a couple of locals and they've told me their favorite is Oud Nude. But I would say the one that is currently the most relevant for them is Patchouli Paris. Patchouli Paris is a gorgeous patchouli fragrance. I would love to add it to my collection. It's a stunning, really warm, wearable, gorgeous patchouli fragrance, and I definitely recommend it. It's really, really well loved here. I feel like between men and women, not just one. So yeah, Patchouli Paris, it's loved amongst local men, local women. Everyone loves Patchouli Paris right now. And yeah, and also Oud Nude and obviously other Guerlains, but I feel like especially Patchouli Paris recently, I've heard so many people wearing it. So talking about how local women love very classic perfumes, another fragrance I've heard a lot about from local women is Lady Caron from Caron. Now, this fragrance, I just sprayed it on my hand to remind me. It's this beautiful, like, really soft, creamy, fruity floral with a slightly vintage touch. And this fragrance reminds me for some reason of my mom. Like, I'm sure I could bet my life on it that my mom would die for this fragrance. Like, she would love it. It really has this very elegant, feminine, sophisticated, mature vibe to it. And I don't say mature in a bad way. I say it in a way that there's something very like vintage and nostalgic about this scent while still being very relevant today. You have some fruits, you have some florals. I don't even know what else is in here, but I get this creaminess, this fruitiness, and a floral aspect, and it's just so gorgeous. And a lot of local women, they love Lady Caron and Caron in general. And I've also interviewed some guys that love Caron as well. So it's just a very well-loved brand here in the region. I think because it's this very classic, iconic French house. And I think that locals, they really appreciate that. So Lady Caron, really gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. Okay, of course, we have Imagination. I was speaking with some locals a couple of weeks ago, and they told me that Imagination is like the best of the best. One of the guys was wearing it that night that I was speaking with them, and a lot of local guys, they love Imagination. They love it. Everyone else in the world loves it, but I was surprised actually. I think there's, again, a bit of a misconception that locals, they only wear like oud fragrances like Ombre Nomade. It's not true. They really like fresh fragrances as well. They like everything. So Imagination, very relevant here, especially at the moment. I've interviewed a lot of guys that say Imagination is their absolute favorite. Fresh, musky, clean, tea, just one of the best fresh fragrances in the world, period. Okay, so another fragrance and brand in general I have heard quite a bit about is Matière Première. Now, this fragrance is Crystal Saffron. Crystal Saffron is really popular here, of course, because of the saffron. It has this really airy, addictive, captivating saffron note that feels slightly smoky, leathery, yet very airy at the same time. This was really popular, I would say about a year and a half ago. It's not as popular right now, but it was definitely like the hot fragrance to be wearing about a year and a half ago in Dubai. And I've also interviewed some guys that say that they like Falcon Leather, which is one of my personal favorites from Matière Première. So I've also interviewed some local guys that told me their absolute favorite is Falcon Leather. So whether it's Falcon Leather or Crystal Saffron, the brand Matière Première is definitely a popular brand and growing in popularity here in the Middle East. So definitely a great scent. I will be honest with you guys, I'm not a fan of Crystal Saffron. Like, it's not a fragrance for me. I'm a little bit sensitive when it comes to saffron. I find it to be very overwhelming very quickly. And I think saffron is a very polarizing note. Either you love it and you love saffron fragrances, it's like the best thing ever for you, or you don't like them. I have a friend and she adores saffron dominant scents. This is one of her favorites. But for me personally, I'm just not a big lover of saffron. I like it more when it's like in the background of a fragrance rather than like the protagonist. Here it's the protagonist. Like, it's literally a saffron, a smoky leathery saffron, but very airy. But it's a gorgeous fragrance for what it is, and it's very, very popular here. Okay, another one that is very popular amongst local women, Musc K from LK. This fragrance, they can't even keep it in stock in Dubai. Like, as soon as it's in stock, it's out of stock again. I know that this is growing in popularity all over the world, but here especially, Musc K is going crazy. One thing as well that I've observed is that local women, they love musk. They love clean musk. They love animalic musk. They love fresh musk. They love musk. Musk, musk, musk is the big thing since a very, very long time. And that's something that I've noticed a lot actually. So Musc K is one of the most beautiful white musk fragrances. It's so clean and bright and fresh and crisp, and it's really, really incredible. And whenever I've spoken with local women and also distributors, retailers, this is really one of the most popular fragrances. Probably about 6 months ago, this was like the fragrance, but it's still very relevant right now. Musc K from LK, you guys know I love this one. It is so, so gorgeous. Okay, so finally, coming back to the vintage fragrances that local women love, one fragrance I know that a lot of local women adore is Quelques Fleurs from Vuitton. Now, I got this bottle from my perfume guy in Dubai, And this fragrance is just so stunning. It was actually the scent that Princess Diana wore on her wedding day. Tel que Fleur is this gorgeous floral fragrance. It opens quite green with some like angelica and like some other things, but as it starts to settle down, you get a kind of powdery, soft floral with some honeyed sweetness. It's just stunning, you guys. This fragrance is magical. It definitely smells a little bit more vintage. Like, this definitely has a vintage profile, so it's not going to be for everyone, but the fragrance is spectacular, and I know for a fact it's really popular amongst local women. And same with Nina Ricci Les du Temps as well. Very vintage, very classic. So this fragrance, very classy, very beautiful, and very popular here. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video about what people in Dubai actually wear. From my perspective, this is with like a couple of years of research and like getting to speak with people. This is what I have like curated as a selection of what people in Dubai actually wear. So let me know if you enjoyed this video. I can definitely make a part 2 because there's other fragrances that people wear. Like, I've met a lot of people that wear Tilia. What was the other one that they're wearing? I forgot. But there's a lot of very popular brands in the region. People love perfume. It's really a part of the culture. So yeah, let me know if you want a part 2, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.